Tree Talking Time is brought to you by Conkey's Outdoors. Get all your hound hunting needs at conkeys.com. Welcome to Tree Talking Time, where we talk all things tree dogs, from the smallest feists to the largest hounds, treating squirrels to bears and everything in between. And from time to time, we might even run a little fast game.
What's going on?
Not much. What's going on with you?
Nothing.
Nothing. How was the shop today?
It's busy. Busy.
You would think, like this time of year, things would slow down.
I know. They have been. You tell me when you're ready to start recording, I can talk about it.
What do you mean ready when we start recording? We're recording, buddy.
All right, start over. I'm ready.
How's the shop been?
It's been good. It's been still a little busy, but it's slowed down a little bit. I guess a lot of people are snowed in. Have you got a lot of snow up your way?
Not a lot. We got some snow. At this point, most of it's gone. But I would say all in all, we probably got 4 or 5 inches in total, but it never accumulated to that much. You know, we got a little bit here, a little bit there. You know, some would melt off in between, but
yeah, gotcha. No, it's funny. It's really busy. I mean, hunting season starts like October, and then it's been a blessing, but it's been extremely busy all the way until right after Christmas, and then it's funny every year when the rest of the country gets a lot of snow and we're still fairly warm. You know, business slows down for a week or two, and
sure.
We got to tell ourselves that everybody's snowed in. They're not thinking about hunting, but once it melts, it'll pick back up again. So,
and at the same point, just in general, you know, I used to work at retail, you know, high school, post high school, and January was always the slowest month. You know, everybody spent a bunch of money. Christmas time, post Christmas, you know, things kind of slow down.
Oh yeah, no, but it's good. Me and Corey also talk about all the time how when it's so busy at the store, we don't have all the motivation to hunt. So we have been hunting. We've been back to hunting pretty solid now. So
good.
I think I'm gonna go out tonight. We might go out tomorrow. So
you're getting ready for what, the state hunt? Yeah,
we've got the state hunt next week, and I guess when we release this, it'll be this week. And then there's a pro classic the night after. But I tell people, you know, there's not a lot of big hunts in Florida, so you kind of got to grab when you can.
I thought Florida was a coon hunting hotspot.
It's funny. There's a bunch of crazy people like ourselves, and you kind of get to know them all because there's so few of us. But
yeah.
But no, it'll be good. The state hunt will be good, and then there'll be some people show up to the pro classic the night after, and you know, we still got our local hunts, but I think there's only, you know, realistically 3 or 4 clubs as far as PKC goes in the whole state. So
yeah,
and Florida's a pretty good sized state, but down south, I don't think there's any clubs.
Well, it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, first of all, you'd have to be just crazy to coon hunt down there, and obviously your grandfather is, because that's where he started. But you couldn't pay me. There's most of the year you couldn't pay me to hunt where you hunt, yet alone down south.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, I went up to Tennessee around Thanksgiving, and I went hunting with my friend, and we went up somewhere called Pickett State Park, and we cut the dogs in there, and they went about a mile in there, 1.25 miles or something, and it was 30 degrees, and I'd been messing with him about us not having to walk, so he was dedicated to walk all the way up there, and it took about 2 hours. Up a mountain, down a mountain. We were climbing up creeks. I've never seen stuff like this, and it really did make me miss home, because it's, even when it's cold, it's still 40 degrees out there, you know, this week. So
yeah, for work, I was on a conference call yesterday, and it was somebody in Florida, and that's what she was saying. She's like, "It's cold down here," and I'm like, "What's cold?" And she's like, "Oh, you know, 40, 50 degrees." I just laughed. I was like, that's like my perfect temperature. If I could have that year round, I'd be happy.
Oh yeah, there's no. I'm sure there are, but there's not a lot of perfect places year round.
Oh no. I realize that, but I'm just saying, like,
Oh yeah, no, but I'll take the snakes and gators to not have any snow, so it'll be good. But
Well, heck, there's a lot of places that have snow right now that aren't supposed to have, that don't normally have snow. I shouldn't say they aren't supposed to, but
that's right. It seems early this year too.
yeah. I know last week, our old buddy Jeremy Garner posted a picture. They had a whole bunch of snow, and I laughed. I said, "You got more snow than I do." He's like, "Don't laugh at me."
It's funny. When I lived in Tennessee, up north, these guys they'll call all the time from upstate New York and places, and I'll say, "Did you guys get a bunch of snow?" And they're like, "No, we only got about 15 inches," or and half time I think they're joking, but when I lived in Tennessee, you get like a dusting, and they wouldn't prepare the roads, and it would be chaos. So, the middle of the country, the least prepared, I feel the worst for them.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
up north, they're used to it.
Yeah, that's right.
Even I would say we're kind of quote unquote used to it, but at the same point, we still don't get near what further north, like you're talking, upstate New York or whatever gets. Even most of the rest of Pennsylvania typically gets more snow than we do. I'm in the far southeast corner, so
that's right. No, but it's been good. The store's been good. We're cruising right along.
Good deal. You guys were just down at Grand American. How'd that go?
It was good. Back before COVID, we had a big 20-foot trailer, and it might have been a little longer than that, but we used to hit all the shows. We'd go to Grand American, Autumn Oaks, Walker Days, a bunch of those shows, and that's kind of how my grandpa met a lot of people too, besides the message boards.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID came and it kind of slowed everything down, shut some of the shows down, and then the store's gotten so busy we can't afford to take a bunch of people. If we take 2 or 3 people, it's really rough on the people left at home. So, this year we went up to Grand American again. It's the second year we've been. It's probably the only one we'll go to in the future. I'd like to go to Oaks, and maybe down the road we can, but it was just good. It was good seeing everybody. I had people telling me it was the busiest one they've seen in a while. So,
okay.
And we literally loaded up 2 pickup trucks and the bed and the back seats, and we didn't rent a trailer or anything. And we got one little booth and set up, got to see Garmin, and they're next to us, and Bright Eyes across. And, I got to meet a lot of good people, a lot of people I haven't met yet. So, and then the customers, they were phenomenal. We sold out of thermals and sold out of handhelds and collars. And so it was a good weekend from sales standpoint, but as far as just seeing everybody, that was taking care of some people. That was the best part. So,
oh yeah, I think that's the biggest thing about going to the shows. It's you can sell product and make money from the store and online, but you can't get that face-to-face interaction like you can at a show.
Oh, it's great. It was good. I shook a lot of hands that I've talked to on the phone I've talked to people on the phone every day. That's basically my whole job there at the store some days is technical support and answering questions. And it was good to shake a lot of those people's hands that I've formed relationships with just over the phone, or messaging on Facebook. So,
yeah.
It's always a good time. And they had some good dogs out there too. I actually got to walk around this year and look in the dog barns, and
nice.
I think they had like over 100 vendors. So
wow.
It was a heck of an event. I mean, it was a fun time.
I've been wanting to get there, and one of these years I'm going to.
Well, when you're ready, we'll set you up in our booth. We'll have you a little table. You can sit there, and I'll teach you all about the Garmin stuff, so you can help with that too.
Put me to work, huh?
Mm-hmm. But
I'm sure I could help out.
Oh yeah. But it's nice. It's a 4-hour. It's only a 4-hour drive, and
okay.
It was cold. I'll say that. Even inside, it was cold, but
it's
totally worth it.
About 11 or something like that for me.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a haul. I was hoping to get at the Autumn Oaks this year and see you, but I think it's like 16. So that'd have been a few days of driving.
Just fly up. Come on. Just come on up. Fly up and come up.
Yeah. I know. I will. I will one of these days.
Yeah, we're both saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
we'll make it happen. We'll meet.
Yep.
We'll meet face to face eventually. Shake hands like I was talking about. So.
Oh, I know. You know, we were only in the same city back in first week or right there after Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, my wife had me in a loud bar, and you had the kid, and
yeah. When
you
you
were
said
cruising through.
when you said you had a bar stool saved for me, I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna work. I got a 7-year-old with me. Don't think that's the crowd for Charlie and me.
Yeah, the wife would have been very upset.
Yes. So.
That's funny, but no, you had a big trip yourself. So,
oh yeah.
That's something
you talk
I
about
want to do soon.
A 16-hour drive. Now, granted, we didn't do it all in one day, but I think that's what it is for me to go all the way out there to Arkansas. We broke it up, but I think it's 16 or something straight through.
Man, that's a lot of driving, but those are memories you and Charlie will never forget. You know, so you didn't drive straight. You kind of cruised around too.
Yeah. Nah, that was the nice thing about me. Well, it was like it's a catch-22. It's like you have more driving days, but they're not as long. It's not as unbearable.
That's right.
So I know like this time of year, you know, there's a lot of new stuff kind of coming out, and so what's kind of on the forefront?
Yeah. So today, I guess when this podcast is released, you know, there's, you know, I'll talk about a few more things too. You know, they came out with a new boot. They're always coming out with new boots, and this one's from Yoder, so it's Amish made, and they kind of took a bunch of stuff from other boots. It's called the Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
It looks tough. It looks comfortable. They added like a gusset so people dig your calves, so that's exciting. Thermals are always changing. You know, they're always coming out with something new. No new lights recently, but the biggest thing, and it's kind of gotten leaked. Some people have been calling already and asking about it, but we can talk about it now since it's Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
But Garmin's coming out with 2 new products.
Okay.
And we should have this stuff here ready to ship. And the first one, it's called the Garmin Alpha 200 Plus. And hopefully I'm correct on all this info. This is something we haven't tested, but basically what it is it's an Alpha 300, but with a 200 screen.
Okay.
So it's got the battery life. It's got USB-C, so no more charging port issues. It should run faster, but it's to be determined. We're going to be testing this, you know, as soon as we get in our hands. And but the big thing is, you know, it does have the old 200 screen. That was a complaint that we got, you know, quite a bit on the 200 was the screen wasn't bright enough. Not as much for coon hunters or guys that are hunting at night, but you know, a lot of these guys that are running there in the daytime.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I mean, they've added the battery life, which is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be priced right there at the 200, you know, price range. So, I think some people will enjoy it.
So what's a 300 right now?
300 is $800, and the 200 sits around $700. And you know, the big thing is, you know, the battery life. The 300 is still probably the way to go with that updated screen. We've posted some pictures of, you know, the 200 and the 300 side by side back when they first came out, and you do get a lot more, you know, color and brightness, and you know, those with older eyes or those that, you know, just want a better picture. The 300 is probably still the way to go, but you know, if you're looking for more battery life, I think it's a nice upgrade from, you know, 100, or you know, if you got a 200 that's been roughed up and worn out, it might be time to upgrade. But that's a product that they're releasing, and then the big one, and this is the one that everybody's been asking about, but we can't talk about it until this morning. It's called the Alpha XL. And what it is, so, you know, I'll kind of go into backstory of this too. The drive track's been out for years.
Yeah.
There's a little navigational device you put up on your dashboard, a little 6-inch screen. You pair your handheld with it, Bluetooth, and you can see your dogs running around the screen. And you had to leave it. Most people that are running deer dogs or bear dogs, and they got to go in the woods sometimes and leave their handheld in the truck. And even coon hunters have started using these drive tracks. You had to leave the handheld in the truck, or if you walked away from the truck, walked in the woods with your handheld and came back, it had to reconnect. So, but it was a good advantage from looking at that little handheld. You had a bigger screen.
Yep.
A few years ago, they came out with the Tread. The Tread is a massive screen. I mean, it's 10 inches. The price point, I think, scared people a little bit. But as far as clarity, they upgraded the clarity big time. It was a computer. I told people you could sit there and watch YouTube in the woods if you wanted to. That'd be a really bad night. It'd be a boring night. The dogs must not be doing much if you're watching YouTube. But you can mark waypoints on it, all that kind of thing. And you still had to have your handheld, in the truck if you wanted to stay connected all the time.
Yep.
But I mean, it was a big screen, and the first year selling them, it was a little bit slow, and then it really took off once people started seeing them. You walk up and your hunting buddy's got one, or somebody that you run into's got one. You're like, what is that? And then
I just saw a review posted today about it. Somebody was just raving about it.
Oh yeah, no, it's me and Corey. We on the colder nights, but also on the hot nights when the mosquitoes are eating us alive, we sit in the truck and watch that Tread, and you can see. I mean, the detail on it was incredible. And that's been out a few years. And I really think this XL, and I can firmly say this, you never know how mass production goes, but me and Corey have been actually testing this for the last, I don't know, it's been 4 months or so. And Garmin's been very helpful on getting some changes made and asking us what we see in it. And then they've got some other people testing it too. Mm-hmm. But the Alpha XL, so what it is, it's a 10-inch screen, same size as a Tread. The clarity resolution is great. They've got some new mapping features. It actually comes with a mount, just like the Tread would. And it's got a area on that mount where you can plug in a long range antenna, and it comes with a little long range antenna, a little magnetic antenna.
Okay.
So you're seeing what I'm saying here, but you can actually track and train your dogs on this Alpha XL. So you don't have to have a handheld. It's basically a Tread with a handheld built into it. If that makes sense.
No, that is awesome, because I know quite a few. Now, I've never seen one of the Treads in person, but I know a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
guys that run the drive tracks, and like you're saying, most of them run 2 handhelds just so they can leave one in the truck with their drive track, and then they've got a handheld they can take in the woods. So, that's a big expense having a second handheld basically just sit there.
Oh, it's huge. And, we've sold double mounts for years where you got your drive track and your handheld, because you couldn't reach up on the screen and touch, a button to correct your dog or tone your dog or anything like that. Mm-hmm. This XL actually has on the screen, you press it. You press the dog you want the tone, for example, and you hit it, and it talks right to the collar. It's not talking through your handheld anymore.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about, having to have a backup handheld in the Tread or having a backup handheld in the drive track, you're talking a good amount of money.
Oh, yeah.
This is priced at $1,200. So it's, $300 cheaper than the Tread.
Wow.
But if you were to buy an Alpha 300 for $800 and even a drive track for $400, you're looking at still $1,200,
So basically, it's like having a handheld and a Tread for less than what a Tread cost.
Exactly. So it's a giant handheld. The one advantage that the Tread has over it is the Tread has, somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure, but I believe it has about 8 hours of battery life. So you could actually pull the Tread off, walk around the woods with your handheld. I've never seen anybody walk around the woods with a Tread. But, I mean, pulling it off and taking it to the back of your dog box and having your handheld with you around your neck, for example, you can kind of do that. This one, it still has 2 hours of battery life. If you pull it off, you can still correct your dogs or tone your dogs or all that kind of thing, but it does have the built-in antenna. And that's a super nice feature. Garmin's just like the tread. The power runs through the base or the mount. And you put it on the mount, and then you've got an antenna hooked to that mount. So the one it comes with is just like the little long range antenna they sell, a little magnetic one. It's got a long coax where you can run it to the back of your truck or the top of your truck or however you want to do it.
Yeah.
We're obviously going to have some bundles and stuff where you're able to, buy a hood mount or an L bracket mount, kind of mount the stuff where you want it.
Yep.
But that way you can, keep this thing in your truck. You don't have to have that extra handheld. The handheld you use to walk in the woods is totally separate now. And I've, kind of got some coon hunters' opinions on it even. And obviously bear hunters and guys that are running deer dogs and
oh yeah,
coyote dogs, they're gonna fall in love with this thing. But I think for coon hunting, I think not having to buy an extra handheld and all that kind of thing, I think it's excellent. And
yeah,
when you're training dogs and dropping dogs here and there, and you have the ability to hook this up to a long range antenna, you can drop a dog, half a mile here, half a mile there, all over the place, and watch everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, we're excited about it. Me and Corey have been messing with it. They've got some alternate mapping where you get a lot more details. You can go in there and name roads and things like that. Still takes a map card, all that kind of thing. But it's been very solid. We've been very impressed with it. And we think, everybody's going to love it. And we're obviously putting out, there's going to be some videos out, and we're going to have a bunch of questions. There's going to be more videos come out. But, if anybody has any questions, just reach out. But I think it's going to be exciting, and a lot of people are going to hear it here first on this podcast. So.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. But I'm excited to see one. I that's one of the reasons I've never gotten like a drive track or a tread, was because I didn't want to have to buy a second handheld.
Yeah.
And, I don't hunt out of a vehicle that often, but when I do, I definitely do like the drive tracks and like I said, I've never even used one of the treads, but heck, a drive track has always been something I've liked, and if I hunted out of a vehicle more, it was something I would probably have, but I think this would be much more feasible and a lot easier to get than trying to have an extra unit, trying to have it paired. It just simplifies everything, makes it more user friendly. Plus bigger screen.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
Oh yeah. It's nice. I find myself coon hunting only. They're breeding these coon dogs to run out of the country now.
That's for sure.
And I've got a little magnetic. I got a little $60 magnetic antenna in my toolbox, and there's many nights I got to throw that thing on. But I'll be saving up my pennies to get one of these. That way, I don't have to mess with it anymore. So I'm sure I might get a discount too. But no, it's I think it's going to be a game changer. So that's two big products from Garmin. Today I think the 200 Plus and the Alpha XL, the big old handheld, and Garmin did a really good job. They've listened, and I think these are, especially the Alpha XL, is going to be perfect for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
I will say, I feel like they definitely listen to their customers and their users. Like the last few years, there's been a lot of innovation. And and part of it, I think there's been some hiccups along the way, and I think a lot of that was just supply chain issues with COVID. But a lot of what they've put out has been, very much because users have been saying this is what we want, and they wanted we wanted a better product, and they've really listened. And a lot of the changes they've made, from what I can see, are definitely more houndsman based than like bird dog guys. Like bird dog guys aren't. I doubt there's very many bird dog guys that are using treads and drive tracks.
Right. They're not. They're not in their truck very often. That's right.
So I would say, they're listening to the houndsman.
Yeah. No, and just 100%. And just to touch on two other things. I mean, for example, the 300 and the 25, and I know I probably talked about this on your podcast before.
Mm-hmm.
A couple things like, the working man, for example, I forget to charge my stuff. I mean, I get busy at work, forget to charge my stuff. The new battery life on all this stuff. I mean, the Alpha 300 and the collars, I can hunt for a week and a half on one charge. Mm-hmm. That's a huge selling point for me. And with the battery life on the collars and the handhelds, it makes it harder to lose your hound. That's ranging way out there. So that was obviously generated. And another example, the biggest problem with putting a collar on a dog and sending them to the woods, you would almost have to make it bulletproof to have no problems ever.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but the most fragile part of the collars, which is the GPS band that goes up to that little square box. Everybody knows what we're talking about because they've seen them. They made it to where you can replace it. So, I mean, they've the price on everything goes up, but at the same time, they're making adjustments to where this stuff should last you a lot longer too. So,
yeah,
they've done an excellent job. I've been really impressed with them.
Yeah, and then they added the LTE collars in there too, and
yeah, and a lot of people have been happy with that, and they've even made some tweaks on it, to make them a little tougher and this and that. So they're always trying to improve, and they do listen. They take a lot of calls. I know there's problems with some of the existing things out there, but they listen and they are working on it, and I've got confidence that they will get everything. I'm sure there'll be bugs with the new stuff coming out, but they'll get it figured out.
There always are, but then software update, a week later, and boom, they've got it fixed. There's always little things, but most of it's software related anymore.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, that'll be a game changer to keep us busy answering questions and making videos and recording podcasts with my friend Ben. So, but no, it'll be good. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be a good thing. So
no, I'm excited to see it. So,
but everyone heard it here first.
Yeah. Any other new stuff coming out? Like you were talking about, the boots. I just saw that post today about the new Yoder boots. Yeah,
those are exciting. Yoder and the Amish companies, they're always coming out with new gear. A lot of people keep this stuff real close to the vest till it's ready. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times the customers sometimes hear stuff before we do. But they're calling us asking about the stuff. So I'm sure by the time me and you get on this podcast again and talk, there will be some new stuff. But we did another thing we did, as far as our store, we made a lot of good connections at Grand American, and got with a lot of people, and I think you'll see a lot of new stuff on our website, that's our whole goal, is to find stuff that works, put it online and get it in people's hands, and, basically make hunting easier. So there will always be some more stuff. I can't think of anything else right now besides this stuff. And then
one thing
it moves so fast.
One thing you just did on the website that I really like is you, and I would say majority of that stuff you had, but you kind of created a separate page for it, is you now have a kids corner, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, it breaks out all the youth stuff, as a father with some young kids, looking for Christmas things or birthday presents. I just had a birthday. We obviously just had Christmas. So, I want my kids to be representing this way of life, and also have the gear that they need to be able to go with me, and to be able to easily find that on the kids corner. And also there's some other things that at home, that puzzle's pretty cool if you're a Walker dog guy. Maybe you could get some other breeds other than Holsteins, but Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's funny, and I mean, I really believe this. In the last few years, there's been such a high demand for kid stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, we've always had the chaps and the coats, and Razor has put out a kid's vest, and they've done a good job as far as the gear and stuff goes, and there's lots like the Tall Timber One's perfect for kids, and we got the Eye Popper now, and but you know, we've really in the last few years started getting a lot of people reaching out about apparel and this and that, and
Mm-hmm.
if you put these in his kid's face in a positive way, like the kid's wearing a shirt that has a I don't know if you've seen our Be the Prey shirts, but it's
Yep.
got half a dog, half a raccoon on it. The kid's wearing it to school, and all the other kids are saying that's cool. Then that keeps them interested in hunting, thinking about hunting. I don't know if you saw we put on the Full Cry, and Danny Doobie and Jason, they got a book out,
Yep.
and we got that on the website, and that's awesome for kids learning to read.
Yeah, no, it's a great little book. I mean,
Oh yeah,
so both my boys got a copy for Christmas.
cool.
And so we've read it, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of like it's a book for a fairly young child. I mean, like
Yeah.
I'd say like a toddler through first, second grade. It's not something for kids much older than that, but it's a nice little book. It's great illustrations in it, and I know both my boys liked it. So.
Oh yeah, no, and it's something that I tell people. I don't know if you've seen how much these Walk with Wick books are selling for.
Oh, something stupid.
but
Hundreds of dollars.
I mean, there's not many books out there as far as like in print about hunting, and this is something that you could buy, and one day you might have a grandkid and give to the grandkid, and pass it down. So that's
and at the same point,
great.
It's a great gift to give. Your nephew, your niece. They're like, I don't even know what they are. $20, $25, something like that.
Yeah, they're under $20.
Okay.
So, I mean, shipped to your door like 25. But
yeah,
no, it's. I think it's excellent.
You give
there needs to be more of
that doesn't have the same connection to hunting, as your own kids. For like I said, $25. You're gonna buy a birthday present for a kid. You're gonna spend that anyway. So buy them a book that it's an introduction to coon hunting.
Yep.
And voila, here you're introducing, these kids that wouldn't necessarily be introduced. Like I said, your nieces, your nephews, your friend's kid, and they're getting an introduction to our way of life or their parents, It's just a nice little subtle thing.
I think the reason I'll tell you this, this is a positive thing to get the kids in coon. I think my dad doesn't coon hunt. He still hunts. He's out coyote hunting around, I think. But I think his dad, which my grandfather made him clean out pens so long, he didn't want to mess with the dogs when he got older. So anything positive. I mean, we got a puzzle online for kids, and I'm always looking for other things to add on there. But man, our whole motto is family hunting tradition, and I can only hope my daughter, and if one day I'm blessed enough to have grandkids, love this as much as I do.
Yep.
And it's something that should never die, because it's brought so much enjoyment to so many people's lives, including mine and yours. And it's a lifestyle. It ain't Conkey's ain't a job. It's I eat, breathe, sleep this. Corey just literally texted me and said I should have been out there around 7 tonight because he's got like a bunch of coons on camera. So
yeah,
but no, it's good, and it's a blessing that there's podcasts like yours that bring positive light, and you highlight so many people. So
I appreciate all the support you guys give me. So you guys have been behind me for a good while now, and I really appreciate it.
Mr. Reliable. There's a podcast every Tuesday.
Yeah, well, sometimes it comes down to the wire, and hey, you've helped me out, pull some strings and get some guests, but usually we make it happen.
Yeah, hopefully I'm not too boring for everybody listening. So,
here's a good segue to make sure this isn't boring. We need a good story, maybe a recent story, maybe like just the other night story, about a recent hunt. that your dog Charlie was just chopping away.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I've got a dog, Charlie. She's still young. She's 3, but I put a immense amount of pressure on her. I got her daughter at the house too, so but as far as a trashy dog, she's really not one. But if she does run across something in the woods, she'll stay there until Daddy gets there. So the other night, I went out with my wife, and we actually went to dinner with Corey and his family. And I told her, I said, I want to go coon hunt, but she's got a hurt ankle, so she's like, well, when you go in the woods, I ain't going with you. So she's got her ankle propped up, and I cut the dog, just thinking nice, enjoyable night, and getting ready for the state hunt. And she goes in there and cuts in the woods, and all of a sudden it was the booger bark. And I think that's what most people call it. I'd call it more of an intruder bark because both of my coon dogs live inside. I've talked about that. I'm a crazy person. But and they've learned from my house dog about, pizza man coming to the door, they go crazy. So anyway, I got up there and loaded the gun and told Ashley, my wife, I said, I gotta go in here and see what this is. And about 130 yards in there, I kind of jogged in there, and there it was, a big old hog, and she's baying it as pretty as any hog dog I've ever seen. So anyways, I put the hog down, and we did some correcting, and told the older gentleman in my club, and so hopefully he went out there and got it. I marked it for him. I didn't want to mess with this stinking hog, drag it out of the woods, and my wife all crippled. So
I was wondering what you did. You didn't answer my text the other day when you sent me that video or that picture. I was like, "What are you making bacon today?"
Oh yeah, no. I hope it was used. I believe it was. So I believe they made some bacon out of it. But I wasn't about to tote it. It was a good sized hog, but there's not a lot of hog hunters in my club, and they're everywhere. But hopefully Charlie got the point. I don't have to do much correcting with her. She's a good dog. A stern voice most of the time will get it done. So she didn't look at it when we were walking out. I don't even put her on a leash. She just walks out with me. So
there you go. How's she bred?
Yeah, she is. She's out of Dick Brothers stuff, and then down to Bad Butch that won the Charlie Creek's Bad Butch that won the Tournament of Champions. Bill Stover's got him now, and the mom is directly out of Trackman.
Okay.
So she's, I tell you what, she's a pain a lot of the times, but I think the reason is she's got so much brains and just enjoyable dog to hunt. I hit tone, I can go home whenever I want. I don't have to walk her on a lead if I don't want to. There's just a lot of positives. If I could clone her and have a pup just like her and go through the slow start with her, I would do it all over again. So
you can do that,
Oh yeah, no, she's yeah. I got her daughter at the house who we bred Charlie to Z, Wipeout Z, which everybody knows.
Yeah.
The pup is a barking machine. I sent her to my grandpa's a couple weekends ago, or during Grand American, and so she sure likes to bark. And I was like, oh my goodness, I know, trust me. So. But it's fun. I learned more from these dogs and about hunting than I would ever learn on my own.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, that was an exciting story. It felt unreal going in there and hog hunting for a night. So
now I got one question for you. You told me,
yeah,
you carried a shotgun in there. Is that what you coon hunt with?
I do. I've got I've tried everything. I've got a little. It's a Rossi 410 single shot, and it holds 8 bullets. But really, for coon hunting down here in Florida, you can only use a 22 or a 410. And a lot of other states, I'm sure in your state, you can use all kinds of stuff. But
no, we're restricted. Nothing bigger than a 22.
Okay, cool. So you feel the pain. Sometimes these coons, you can't get a real good shot on them. You just end up wounding them. But the 410, I've never had a problem. It does pretty good on coons and does pretty good on hogs. And I found some good ammo I really like that's inexpensive. And and that gun is so lightweight. And this ain't a gun. We do sell guns too at Conkey. So if y'all are looking, I can get you one of these. But they're cheap. They're like under $200. But I can walk through and wave it and knock down spider webs when I'm walking through the woods, or move branches aside. It's so lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a little Dan's reflective sling, and it's in the truck at all times. So
there you go.
Yeah. So first taste of hog you got.
It just caught me off guard the other day when you're like, "Yeah, I grabbed my shotgun." I'm like, "Who's coon hunting with a shotgun?"
Oh yeah, no, it's me. And we don't shoot a lot out either.
Yeah.
But when you're in Florida, you got a lot of other things you might run into.
Yeah.
But a shotgun is handy for snakes and everything else. So.
I mean, I might be toting a 22 to shoot the coon, but I'd probably be toting something a little heftier just for all the other things.
Oh yeah. Sometimes I'm in there with a 22 pistol on my side and the shotgun at the same time. So
neither of which is big enough from gators and snakes you got.
No. Gators are protected. I would never.
I don't care what's protected. What happens out there in the middle of the night when it's getting your dog or trying to get you? That's
yeah. If one had a hold of my leg, I would.
I want something.
I'd do everything I could.
I want something bigger than a 22. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what laws, but once it's got a hold of me or a hold of my dog, there ain't no law that says it's going to stop me from shooting it.
Oh yeah, no, we know where the 11-footers are and the 13-footers, and we don't hunt those little areas, especially during the summer. But right now it's good. So they're hiding.
Well, good. So, well, you got anything else?
No, just thank you as always for having me on. And we're blessed. And if anybody wants to talk dogs or needs anything, reach out to us. Give us a call. 904-692-1568. Conkeys.com. I'll throw in a plug there, but I'm blessed. I don't know how long we've been sponsoring your podcast, but I'm excited to keep doing it and see where you go. And then I know you're coming out with some other stuff. So
yeah, it's been announced. The YouTube's coming.
Okay, good. YouTube. I thought it was announced. I listened to that podcast and I figured it was, but yeah, we're excited to see it on film too. See Ben in action. So.
Well, hopefully you'll see less of me in action, just other people that I get to hunt with.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But no, thank you, Ben. I really appreciate it, bud.
Yep, thank you.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Tree Talking Media. And until next time, keep them talking in the timber.